Hey, what's up guys? I'm Kret, and today I want to talk to you about supports. It's really late. I apologize for this video coming out late. Um, but I've been busy all day. So let's talk about supports in Season 1. In Season 1, we saw primarily Guardians in the support role. There were a few instances of maybe Sun Wukong, but it was primarily Guardians. In SPL play, I believe we did actually see all of the supports played as support, with the exception of Kabrakan, who I don't believe was played as a Guardian, but he might have been. There was like one game with Hades, maybe one game with Kumba, a few games with Sobek. Primarily, Geb, Sylvanas, and Athena were the big supports in season 1. And I think Geb was really the sort of go-to, the most common support. So what makes Geb do what he does? Well, he's got Rollout, which is a rotational ability. He's got Hard as a Rock to help keep himself alive, and he's got really nice health scaling. Right? 510 plus 90. Not the best, but still good. He's got Shockwave, which is a non-ultimate crown control ability. It's a knock-up. He's got Stone Shield to cleanse his allies and give them some health. He's got Cataclysm, which is a big AoE stun for initiation. And when you look at the supports that were commonly played, Geb and Sylvanas sort of fit this role, but they're different takes on the situation. So Sylvanas, he's got Nature's Protection and the protections from Wisps to keep him alive. He's got Verdant Growth for a bit of Peel, Nature's Graph for a bit of Initiation, Wrath of Terra, that big AoE knock-up. Both of these characters are primarily using Blink to engage, whereas Athena, on the other hand, she's got Preemptive Strike with the block passive built into that to help keep herself alive. This is a short cooldown movement ability, which allows her to engage with the dash taunt. She's got Shield Wall for damage, and Defender of Olympus is a teamfight utility and global rotation ability. So she's a little bit different, but still has that strong non-ultimate CC. So these are your standard supports. They're fairly good in lane, Sylvanas by far being the best, and in Season 1, support picks are pretty much how you want to engage and how you want to appeal for your team. So Athena can repeatedly engage with Preemptive Strike and Confound, forcing beads and eventually finding an opportunity for a mage to follow up or what have you. Defender Olympus used for global rotations. Geb, it's all about the Blink Cataclysm. He can follow up with the Shockwave to keep people in place, and Stone Shield peels for his team. Sylvanas, he's got this amazing pull potential, which is very, very strong. He's got a Blink Engage from Wrath of Terra, great lane dominance because of his AoE auto attacks, and then Verdant Growth and Wisps just sort of round out his kit with a bit of healing and a bit more control. Let's talk about some of the niche picks. We saw a little bit of Bacchus. He is Hard Engage on his belly flop. He's got sort of a stun ability, right? Belt of the Gods can stun. It's got a 2-second channel, so it doesn't apply all the time, and what this means is that generally it gets interrupted, which is fine because you're using your opponent's CC. He's got his Drunken Meter to keep himself alive. Intoxicate's a big AoE disruption ability. What else did we see? We saw Ares. So Ares has Bolster Defenses to keep his team alive. No Escape is not really engage, it's sort of more like counter engage. Searing Flesh for damage, Shackles for damage, and CC. The cripple is very good for catching people. And then Kumba, nice wave clear on the throwback. Mighty Yawn for peel. Sleepy can keep himself alive. Epic Uppercut is good for setting up his team. Occasionally we saw Ymir. Really high damage because of his passive. Great stats to keep himself alive. Wall is just this handy team fighting ability. Shards of Ice for zoning. It's all about the Frost Breath. And then Glacial Strike with pretty good damage. And occasionally you see Sobek. He was pretty rare because his initiation is only on a single target. So let's talk about the initiation of these characters, right? Dash Taunt, Belly Flop Intoxicate, Blink Ult, Blink Freeze, Blink Ult, Blink Mez, or Blink Ult here. Sobek, he's got a single target initiate on the pull, not quite as strong. Hades, rarely played because of his lower base stats, much lower than other supports. But he's got Blink Ult, and you can dash Shroud, and he's got some options. And Ares, doesn't really have the hard initiate, right? No escape can force beads, and that's pretty good. And then shackles, you can blink and shackle to cripple people who are out of position. Now, these supports are building pretty standard, right? You start with a Watcher's Gift, some pots, whatever, you have your hog, and you're going to go directly into your Midas boots. These items give you an amount of gold per 5, right? So this gives you 42 gold from creeps every minute, assuming you're getting your hunter's getting the last hits, then an extra 12, so it's 54 gold per minute. Midas boots gives you 60 gold per minute. With these two items combined, you get an extra 120-ish. That allows you to get the end-all be-all sovereignty sooner. And sovereignty is super good because it gives your allies protection. It's over 100 across your entire team per stat, like per physical and magical. So it's 200 protections total for your team. It's really good on top of the protections from yourself. It also evens things out, right? It gives you just enough magic protection. So let's say we're level 10 when we get our sovereignty, right? It gives you just enough magical protection to stay alive. You're not seeing it here because of the aura doesn't apply, but it'll add 20. It gives you good physical protection, putting you at 134 on Gab at level 10. After that, it's one of two options. Sometimes you'll see an Emerald Talisman, right? Just sort of a stopgap for a little bit more magic protection. It's got really efficient stats. And the big difference here is the healing boost on Stone of Gaia. And then you've got Magi's Blessing, which is for CC immunity and CC resistance. Very important for objectives like the Fire Giant. So let's say Emerald Talisman. We'll go Magi's Blessing first, and then when we get this Emerald Talisman, it's actually going to be a full Stone of Gaia. After that, it was just sort of like, well, I guess I'll get a Witch Blade so I can go fast, or maybe a Winged Blade, like one of these. And then last item, sometimes you'd see a Soul Reaver because there was nothing else to buy. So big differences. So the build was very much set in stone for the first 3 items. There are very few cases where people opted to not get the sovereignty, and it was Winged Blade and Mystical Mail that they did. But sovereignty is very, very good. And there was very little choice about getting it. And then after that, it was sort of, okay, Magi's is good, Stone of Gaia is good, we want those. And then you just had 2 slots of like, man, what am I going to get? Wingblade's good, Witchblade is good, I guess I can get a Soul Reaver, but it's all luxury. There was nothing that really was meaty for the supports. That felt like it was a go-to item in a majority of situations. So that's sort of been addressed in Season 2, right? In Season 2, the sovereignty is split in half. It's a sovereignty and a Heart Ward Amulet. One gives you a physical protection aura, one's giving you a magical protection aura. Obviously, the intention seems for supports at both, which is pretty cool. Midas boots are removed, so you're going to have real boots there. You can have gank boots or tank boots or cooldown boots. Watcher's Gift nerfed, so the idea is that it could be Watcher's Gifts, it could be Mark the Vanguard. And it seems like the intention for supports in Season 2 is to open up the options in terms of what they can build. The other thing that I'm wondering if Hi-Rez is looking at, and I hope they are, is opening up the options and what supports can play. Sylvanas has super good clear assist. So does Kumba. So does Hades. Ymir's not bad. So maybe Sylvanas, Kumba, and Hades will be used if Hunter Clear stays low. Athena's got that global presence, right? It's just all of these characters have different bonuses. So like Ares, really good pressure damage, can catch people out. Athena, global rotations. Bacchus, guaranteed big damage and disruption in a team fight. Gabrakan, super high damage if he can catch people. Geb, great peel with that shield. Ymir, huge damage, good zoning, very tanky, very strong early. Sylvanas, massive wave push in almost every way. Sobek, I think it comes down to player skill and outplays, but he's sort of lost his role. He's still very good for getting picks, but the targets that people are playing now, like you pull Thor and he's like, well, I'm just going to beats and teleport away, or I'm just going to ult and you won't kill me. So Sobek does have some trouble, and he got some buffs in the first iteration, or the second iteration of the PTS. Kumakarna, similar to Bacchus, is about guaranteed damage, but it's the epic uppercut and throwback combo, right? If you hit this, which isn't too hard, you can land this, and your mage can land something else. Hades, in a weird spot. Shroud of Darkness is underestimated. It's a 2-second silence, which is just like Athena's Confound, exact same duration. Different notation, though. That's weird. 2 seconds, 2.0 seconds. Weird. Anyway, but it's an 11-second cooldown, whereas this is a flat 18, and this scales down 15 to 11. So, you know, if you're using it right, Shroud of Darkness is an incredible ability. Pillar of Agony, similar to Ares ult, forces actives, forces reactions. He's got a dash that can slow, and he's got a heal for lane, so I think Hades is something that, if adjusted properly, could be very strong in Season 2. But it really seems like it's about more options for supports, you know. Not only Watchers, now Mark of the Vanguard could be a good option. No more Midas boots, now you have to choose. Do you want cooldown reduction, do you want tank boots, or do you want Talaria for the roam? What's your first item? Is it Sovereignty? I think that's still probably going to be the go-to, but Heartward is still good. There's more of a case for Highly Urchin, or Witchblade, or Mystical Mail, maybe. I don't think Mystical Mail is that good, but whatever. So yeah, it seems like the goal for Season 2 is really just to diversify what supports can do in terms of their items, and my only hope is that Hi-Rez has a keen eye on also diversifying the picks in the support role. So we really do see those interesting picks, the Ares, the Cabrakan, the Ymir. Anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts for the day. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you like what I'm saying, twitter.com/Kretuhtuh with a TUH. It's in the information. I had an AMA today. It was pretty good. Got a bunch of comments, and I do that every Tuesday all day long until I go to sleep. And I'm probably not going to be awake for too much longer. So yeah, 414 comments of that at the time of recording. And there will be a Reddit thread for this video as well. So I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about mages. And I'll see you guys next time. Good night.